Yo, what it is though. Yo, this is the hits in the midst of the Verzuz. Cash Money versus No Limit. Anybody who was in the 90s, this is big. This is two juggernauts clashing. Two gladiators coming to the stage. We can't take this for granted, what we experience. And that's why I had to come up with this hit versus miss list, because an event like this, you should not take for granted. You know, a lot of times people don't realize what's in front of them, but for the people who grew up in this era and for the people who was a part of, who had to go to the stores to get the CDs, who was excited about seeing the covers, seeing the features, seeing what coming next in the books from both camps, not just one. I'm talking about the people, you know, we was in the mix, man. We listened to Cash Money and No Limit. But for the people who understand No Limit came before Cash Money, people who understand the impact, man. If you're from the South, the North, the Midwest, the West, no matter where you from, if you was tuned in during that time, man, you already know what time it is, man. You know how legendary this is. But a lot of people really wasn't. A lot of people, you know, up-tempo, South music, 808s ain't their type of music. But for those who, that's all type of music, that's what we like, this for you. And don't get me wrong, I'm the type, see, I'm different, man. I'm from South Carolina, so speak for myself. I love every coast music, you know? I like Wu-Tang. But I like Master P.
We know limit soldiers. We know limit soldiers.
I like Snoop.
From the depths of the sea, back to the block, Snoop Doggy Dogg, funky as the doc went so.
Ice Cube.
In the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog, no small. And mama cooked the breakfast with no home.
And you know what I'm saying? I like Bone Thugs.
Climbing my deck and dragging bruise. Thinking about that hanging, cutting my back.
I like Common.
Come on, I met this girl when I was 10 years old. What I love most, she had so much soul. She was old school. I was a shorty, never knew throughout my life she would be there for me on a regular.
The taste of music, you know, it just unlimited. It's no limit. So we're gonna get into this hit and miss. I'm gonna start with the hit list. The fact that y'all got No Limit and Cash Money on the stage together is an automatic hit. This is legendary to have both of these groups.
It's a celebration of music. It's a celebration of music and all love.
Two of the most successful, top-notch labels, big boss CEOs, cutthroat rappers from both sides, different projects, rival projects, but in this melting pot to bring them all together with, you know, who had mutual respect for each other. But we all know that it was, you know, small tension, even if it was competition, the spirit of competition on streets or whatever it may be, it was tension back in the days, which was like 30 years ago, man. Shoot, anybody who came from that era, we all older and we all, you know, should be wiser. But with all that being said, this is legendary. That's a hit.
Jackhammer, look how far back.
The song selections was a hit. Both sides was playing, you know, not just commercial tracks, but album cuts that was big in the streets, in the clubs. It was big everywhere.
All niggas cause we roll 2 feet with AKs off safe and niggas off safe. I go by the name the
PG. Wood grain with the legacy. Winter so dark, you need a flashlight to see me.
Depending on where you was at in this world. So, you know, if you was in the South, you was in college, you was in middle school, high school, during that time, you've been connected. So you know it was No Limit was on fire. The Cash Money came, they was on fire. And you know the body of work they dropped, that they got doper songs on their album than they do as a commercial. Because the commercial songs, that ain't even all favorites for people who actually follow the camp. And most people we'll get to that later. I want to talk about that. But most people who tuned in or who know both sides only know their commercial songs like Bling Bling and Wobble Wobble and stuff like that. Those like the bottom of the list songs to us, because when you heard the album was riding. The album got better hits, but it just was, those were more commercial for the you know, to have videos and for the public eye and to be on the radio. So song selection was a hit.
LeBron James with no regard for
The event, the stage was set up nice, you know, it was big. Timberland and Swiss Verzuz TV, Apple, everybody who was involved, they did the big one, they did their thing. The event was dope, man. The setup was dope. They thought it out. It wasn't, you know, nothing rushed put together. It was, the scenery was dope. We still talking about it. The internet went crazy because of this.
I gotta give it to.
So my hits are the fact that you got Cash Money and No Limit on the stage. The event was dope. The setup, the scenery, the carpet being rolled out, and you know, everybody interacting and doing this was dope. The song selections was dope. It was a hit. The song selections was a hit. The night was a hit. But with that being said, it was some misses, man, some big misses. And I think if you could correct the misses, sure, I think we should run it back and do a part 2. Cause one of the misses is the location. How you do a Verzuz with two juggernauts, two of the biggest labels from the South that the South loved dearly, that the rest of the world probably loved them too, but they don't love them like the South loved them, man. People who were No Limit fans, most people who were No Limit fans was Cash Money fans down here, but we was No Limit fan first for the majority of us. And we listened to every album. So every album they kept, we would buy them suckers like hotcakes, man. They were dropping them, we was buying them. So we know about every album. The Hot Boys, and when they came, the same thing. We know about every album, and we loved them. Every club used to go to back in the day, teen clubs or whatever. I was a teen when they was out, and in the club they used to play No Limit. In the club, strictly No Limit. Then slowly but surely you start to see Cash Money creeping in. They was at like the skate rings and stuff. But it was big. We had this group from New Orleans, and some of us got confused. We thought Cash Money albums was part of No Limit. When I first got introduced to them, that's how I seen it. I thought that was part of No Limit. That's how I stumbled on Cash Money. And you know, we gave it a listen and be like, yo, these boys dope. And learned more about them. So the location was a miss.
Austin out to left center. And they got underneath it. Oh, nobody caught it! Sosa and Rojas didn't communicate.
Cash Money should have had the whole team. The fact that Cash Money left Turk and Lil Wayne, that's a big miss, man. So anybody who was connected with this group, the Cash Money in the 90s, early 2000s, like before everybody left, you know, we was expecting the team, man. We wasn't the type, you see, you had people disconnected and you even tell they either was younger or they really wasn't in the midst of what I'm talking about. They wasn't down here or they wasn't connected during the reign of No Limit than the Cash Money. Because they would have known, we ain't want to, they talk about, and no disrespect to them, because I love a lot of artists on like Young Money, but we didn't, that wasn't part of this Verzuz. We wanted BG, Turk, Wayne, Juvie, and the big timers. We didn't want to hear Drake and the rest of them. This was for all generations. When we used to party in club, they wasn't even out yet. So that's what we wanted to hear. And the fact that what we was able to hear, that's why that was a hit. But the miss part is you missing your biggest, two of your biggest stars, man. Y'all should have tried to work that out. Didn't agree to an agreement until that could have got worked out. We could have waited. You know, I'm happy y'all did it, so we need to run it back, a part 2. Another miss was 10 songs, man. How you gonna give No Limit versus Cash Money? How y'all gonna, for us fans who love them so much, like we know how much hits they get, how much anthems they get, how Man, they ran the clubs for years, so we know what they got. They ran the streets for years. Their music was on fire, so 10 songs, that's why they couldn't, you know, a lot of, Juvie couldn't perform a lot of his hits, the Hot Boys couldn't perform. I mean, a lot of songs got laid, you know, was laid on the table. No Limit they had so much in the clip, man, they could have they could have go to so much Mia X and Mac features and album cuts. Fiend, I mean, they left a lot on the table. The Body soundtrack, I mean, it was a lot they left on the table. So 10 songs, that was a miss. I say this might be the last, but not least. Basically, as you see for my hits, it was, you know, bringing the unity and the thought of bringing together. Shout out again to Swiss and Timbaland. The event being dope, the song selection, everything was dope, you know. But the hits, the miss was basically all the disconnection, like the location. That's the disconnection. They ain't connected like that, and not just the location. I think of people from that area, the older generation would have been out there. Maybe they would have understood them more. But it was a lot of young faces in the crowd who didn't even. I even heard Just Hilarious say on the Breakfast Club that she was born in '92. So when Charlamagne asked her, "Do you know what you don't know what No Limit Soldier is?" She said, "No, I was born in '92." That shows that's the majority of the internet, man. So that's why when they announced it, the internet was going crazy and talking about Cash Money gonna blow them out the water because y'all wasn't there, because y'all disconnected, because y'all didn't even experience No Limit Run. So it's like, you know, you late to the party. So everything you're hearing is old to you, and it's not in that moment. It's not, you know, they changed the landscape of music. Music wasn't sounding like it sounded today. Music wasn't sounding like it sounded when they came out. The 808s and anthem beats, and, you know, they turned it up, man. They kind of usher in, kind of like the 808, the crunk, they kind of usher that in. The host, Ebru, you know what I'm saying? You legendary, you a hip hop head. The young kid that would do same thing. I know he was doing his homework, so shout out for trying to do your homework and doing what you can, but you could tell y'all kind of was disconnected. Y'all wasn't in the midst of that. I could tell, because y'all made it seem like No Limit was just keeping up, or it made it seem like they was keeping up, but nah, No Limit was spanking Cash Money. Like, anybody who was connected, we know that. Like, what y'all talking about? And the only reason I say it was spanking Cash Money, because everything Cash Money dropped, No Limit dropped a counter that was bigger. If you wasn't there, you don't understand and don't know. And not just bigger, it was harder. And not just harder, yo, man, what? You heard how Mia X was spitting on the stage, and a lot of people were surprised about that. How y'all surprised? Yo, this is one of the dopest females that ever touch a mic. And a Fiend and Mac would have got it, man. Come on, y'all don't even know. That wasn't nothing. That was dope, but it was, so the disconnect and commentating, yo, that was a miss. You should have had people on that mic who knew for sure, quiz folks, who knew for sure, you know what I'm saying, what both sides truly was and what they bring to the table, and understood the assignment in the music. That is like somebody who probably listened to Wu-Tang or Illmatic today. They ain't gonna get that same feeling as you got when you first heard that album during that time period, because it changed the landscape of music and hip hop. So hearing it now, everything not changed, you not heard it all. But a lot of people don't realize a lot of stuff you heard was influenced by them. So if they never did it, you would never hear it. So they were the first to do it. That what made it so powerful, impactful, and dope. Because we were the first people to hear it. When Nas did it, when Wu-Tang, when No Limit, when Cash Money, we were the first. We were living in that moment. But the moment now relive 100 times, so y'all don't appreciate it like you should. But that's why a lot of us fans who love No Limit so much, we appreciate it so much, because we've been in the field. We was in the clubs at the time. We was in the streets. We was enjoying the music. Shoot, even you was joining in your house. Wherever you know, we was buying them albums. We know album cuts. We know the albums. We could rank the albums. All of us listen to at least over 5 No Limit albums, and that's a low number. So if you ain't did that, I can't take your critique and I can't take your call serious. That's a miss. You disconnected. It's a miss.
And oh, look out! And our shoots for three.
So, you know, this is my hits and miss, man. We need to run this back. This got to come back. We got to do a part 2. We need Cash Money to bring all the hot boys. Get it together, fellas. We need Know Them to come back. Prayfully, C, Get Free. We need C to come. We need Know Them to come back. We need to bring Snoop back. We need everybody to come back and do 20 songs, and let's bring it in the South. Should take it to Atlanta. I mean, I would say take it to New Orleans, but I don't think I don't know. But let's bring it back to the South, man. And that'd be you fix those small problems and rerun it, because we would love to see that again. But give us a heads up. I guarantee you the crowd will be different. You know, us folks our age will actually be out there who know the songs. They ain't been knowing the songs. Oh, man, come on, man. I got to get off here. But this is my hits and miss for the Verzuz. The next thing I'm about to do is I'm about to give y'all my top 5 moments in the Verzuz. That's next.